Hey peeps, I got yogurt in my face. How do you stay young when you're 67? With the plain, natural, no sweetener yogurt, which I also eat and goes inside me. It acts like a tannin because it's a live bacteria, right? The bacillus of some sort, lactobacillus, and it eats away at the proteins, the on the outer layer of your skin. So it actually softens your skin and sort of sloughs the skin without scratching the heck out of it. And fresh. I actually sometimes, because it's hard to put cold, it doesn't make sense to put cold yogurt on your face because then your pores kind of like, I think, restrict. And that's how I feel it. Anyways, who wants to put like cold cream on your face? Um, but so sometimes I warm up the yogurt. However, the best thing that I found that works really good. So sorry, I was staring at a fly over there. What works really good is thinking. Um, yeah, is I sometimes leave the yogurt open on the counter in the bathroom, over in the corner by the sink, nowhere near the toilet, but over by the corner of the sink, overnight. Um, just for it to warm up, one, to at least the temperature of the house, and two, maybe to get a little bit more sour, to get the lactobacillus moving a little bit more so it's stronger when I put it on my old skin here, thick skin. We're still working on it. I'm still, after 2 years, I'm battling sugar these days, but it's okay. The point is that, as I've said before, when I started keto, and this is the way I am. I just did everything really strict. And since I, like with everything, don't really actually have a teacher, I'm teaching myself, so inevitably one makes a lot of mistakes. But I was horribly, terribly strict. I didn't quite understand what these macros were, which is like, a ratio of, in this case, dietarily, in this case, it was a ratio of the macros were how much over a day or per meal. What's the percentage of protein in my diet? What's the percentage of like carbs or sugars or complex sugars or starches in my diet? And what's the percentage of proteins, right? Yeah, so I basically just cut out carbs, proteins, and for the first, I don't know, year and a half. And I also had another little trick because it's not easy. For sure, they talk about the flu, the keto flu, and then the first couple of weeks, when your system starts to go, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing to me? And it starts to say, hey, wait a minute, you're making me sick. It makes you feel sick. But if you know better, you're going to get past that point. A lot of people stop at that point. Oh no, I can't handle it. Oh no, no, no. So you gotta like push forward past that point to get to the to the homeland. Well, that's not the word. The land of milk and honey, which of course we don't. So another trick I used for a number of months in making my keto coffee, I added cream, which for years I made my espressos in the morning, would never touch cream. Cream did not go to my tongue in my mouth. Maybe once a year at Christmas or Easter or something, I'd have whipped cream on my pie. It was like, whoa, there's. However, and I would always have like frothed skim milk, or not skim, 1% milk in my coffees every single morning. I'd make frothed skim milk. But then when I switched over, I found, like skim milk is like, has less fat and more sugars than whole milk. Whole milk has more fats. And then we get into like the creams that have even more fats, whole milk, in Canada anyways, I think is generally 3.5%, although there's a few small dairies that are effectively putting out their own sort of local products and milk products. And I think Upper Canada Creamery is one. Chagnon in Quebec is another. There's a few of them, and those ones you can get like 4.5% milk. But over and beyond that, your regular milks up here, your grocery store, big batch, everybody's milk goes into one and gets boiled and put into cartons. Milk, seal test, Beatrice, lactancia, etc., 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 which you get in the grocery store. So they have, the skims and the 1%, and then the homogenized, which is 2%, and then the what's called whole milk, which is 3.5%. But then they have sets of creams. And your creams start at 5%, which is funny, but 5% cream. 5% milk fat. That's what the percentage means. The amount of milk fat in the volume per volume, 5%. And so, speaking of which, and in Canada anyway, so we have what's called half and half cream, which is a 10% cream. And then we have like a light half and half, which is 5% cream, which is just ridiculous. May as well use real milk, like 3.5% milk. Anyways, for the price difference. And then they have, some of them have a 15%. And if they don't have 15%, then they have the 18%. So usually it goes 3.5, and then the 15 or 18. And then above that, there is what's called whipping cream, which is usually like 35% cream. Okay? That's the stuff we like, whipping cream. But I would buy the big liters of 18% cream when I was, switching my diet over. Yeah. And a lot of proteins. Mind you, some of my proteins were meat proteins. A friend of mine, oh, isn't this sweet? Listen, some of you that know me, but some of you who don't know me from around the world, I may as well tell you because it's like, yeah. So I hadn't seen this friend for quite a while. We talk like on a regular basis, but because of the pandemic and such, so mostly it's been over the phone or texts and almost every day, an old good friend. I've known this person for like 50 years, 50, and pretty much been in contact the whole time, through his wives and children and, good friends. And because I know where he's coming from, I understand what he has to say, and he's a very deep thinker. Although on surface, unless oh, the yogurt's starting to dry out. I'm going to have to go wash it off soon. At any rate, not to talk about my friend so much. But as to what he did, he showed up at my house. I hadn't seen him for like months. And he knows I live out in the middle of the country and I don't get out very much. And, even to the local stores and that I eat really like specifically a lot of raw nuts. But the thing is, he does too, although he's not keto and he's seriously vegan. There's no eggs, and I think he's just started in the last couple of years to have a little bit of cheese in his diet, so at any rate, he showed up here with an entire roasted chicken. Roasted in his house. Balsamic glazed, herb de Provence. I could taste the herbs. There was caramelized onions, a little bit of lemon on there too in the chicken, and with asparagus and cambazola, a blue cheese, which I love, and I'm so afraid of those blue cheeses. But once every 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you'll catch me eating blue cheese, and once I start, it's like almost impossible to make me stop. I'm that girl that sits beside the cheese platter at the party and I'm nothing to say. I'm just eating that blue cheese. Dare I bring it into my house because I will consume it. Well, he did. He brought it into my house. I've had it every day since. A little bit. I'm trying to be really careful, right? Although cheeses are more normal in my diet now. So I thought that was so sweet. And just because I knows I'm keto and everything there was keto, and just two, like you don't have to, no willpower involved here, little tiny pieces of dark chocolate. Perfect, Like my dark chocolate, but don't give me a whole bar because, again, within 24 hours. So I think I have to go wash this stuff off my face. I just thought I wanted to let you know there's good people out there. I think, we're getting through this. It's going to be a new world. Whatever you were saving and working for, well, I hope you've reassessed it this past year because things are going to change. And shortly, very shortly, like before the summer hits, you and every one of us who is open to possibility will see something new we didn't think was possible. Grab it. You can do it. Let's go together. I gotta go wash my face. I look so funny. Who is that silly old lady?